Pauline Mongaang, 49, a slim, caramel-skinned widow, carried the quiet scars of a difficult, abusive marriage. She found deep solace in regular church attendance, using her faith to bypass any need for professional psychological reckoning with her trauma. She lived in Johannesburg with her two daughters. Simphiwe, 24, slim, caramel-skinned with an afro, was focused on completing her MA in accounting at Trekvo Public University. Her younger sister, Thando, 19, a yellow bone with medium dreadlocks, was redoing her matric year, paralyzed by career uncertainty. The family joined the newly established New Dawn Assembly, led by Pastor Stembiso. At 42, Stembiso, a manipulative and charismatic personal trainer from KwaZulu-Natal, quickly identified Pauline's deep-seated need for validation. He framed her past trauma not as abuse, but as a severe, ongoing spirit of rejection, demanding continuous, intensive deliverance services. This teaching entrenched Pauline's denial and amplified her dependence on the pastor's spiritual authority. As Simphiwe entered the demanding research phase of her master's degree, Pastor Stembiso's sermons began to escalate. He preached that academic effort not sanctioned by divine mandate was knowledge from the underworld, a subtle curse intended to destroy her destiny. He explicitly labeled Simphiwe's MA as the unseen index, a spiritual marker placed on her life to halt progress. Pauline, completely convinced, began to systematically sabotage Simphiwe's study schedule, replacing crucial research time with spontaneous, mandatory night vigils and fasting sessions decreed by the pastor. Under this constant pressure, Simphiwe's mental health deteriorated rapidly. She experienced more than just fatigue. The complex accounting formulas she was studying began to look like they were crawling on the page. She often heard a distinct, disembodied condemning whisper that sounded unnervingly like the pastor's voice, telling her, "You are failing. You are proud. This knowledge is killing your spirit." Simphiwe's ability to discern reality began to fracture. She mentioned the crawling numbers and the auditory hallucinations to her mother, hoping for a moment of quiet and rest. Pauline immediately escalated the issue to Pastor Stembiso. Stembiso seized the opportunity. He told Simphiwe, "The demon of schizophrenia is activating because of your worldly pride." He prescribed an immediate, extreme 40-day water fast and commanded her to burn her textbooks as a sacrifice of her intellectual vanity. He ensured Pauline monitored her closely, isolating Simphiwe from her academic peers and restricting her access to her cell phone. Simphiwe, now deeply sleep-deprived and experiencing a genuine, stress-induced psychotic break fueled by religious terror, found herself at the precipice. Thando, witnessing her sister's deterioration and the pastor's extreme demands, felt a flicker of doubt, but remained silent, still waiting for the pastor's prophetic word on her own career. The climax arrived when Simphiwe, moments before obeying the command to burn her thesis notes, saw a health awareness poster for Trekvo University. The text was clear and simple: severe stress causes hallucinations. Talk to us. A brief moment of lucidity broke through the fear. Simphiwe bypassed her mother and the pastor, and used a borrowed phone to call the university student wellness center. She spoke to a counselor who, upon hearing the symptoms, paranoia, auditory and visual hallucinations, severe sleep deprivation, and extreme fasting, immediately recognized the signs of a stress-induced psychotic episode requiring urgent medical intervention. Simphiwe acted on this professional advice, agreeing to immediate medical assessment and rest, firmly rejecting the pastor's final instructions. Pauline and Stembiso labeled her backslider and a victim of an unbroken, powerful spirit. However, Simphiwe chose professional help and survived the crisis. She later submitted her work and preserved her academic future. Thando remains passively waiting for a prophetic directive, and Pauline is still deeply entrenched in denial. The story of the Mongaang family underscores the cost of outsourcing personal discernment to manipulative authority. The journey of Simphiwe starkly illuminates a crucial lesson: discernment saves lives. We must all be able to distinguish between a spiritual experience, emotional trauma, and a medical or psychiatric emergency. If a spiritual leader or community asks you to discard medical or psychological help, isolate yourself, or engage in practices that endanger your physical body or mental stability, you must pause and pray on your own. The holy should lead you to safety and clarity, not deeper into confusion and terror. You are accountable for your own faith, and you have the right to seek professional help for your mind and body. We want to hear your experiences. How did you learn to discern between spiritual warfare and your need for rest, counseling, or medical care? Share your wisdom and perspective in the comments below. For more powerful African concept stories that explore faith, manipulation, and the search for authentic spiritual identity from a South African perspective, hit the subscribe button and join our community. Thank you for supporting our channel.